Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I am creating a Father's Day card based on the Lawn Fanatics Sketch Challenge, and I will be using several Lawn Fawn products to create this card. The stamp set I'm using is Dad+Me, and I've stamped the dad moose along with two baby moose onto some Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink because they are both Copic friendly products. I'm coloring in the images with Copic markers, and I typically color dark to light, and so I'm laying down my darkest color at the top of the daddy's head along with underneath his head, just above his belly, and basically anywhere two lines meet is where I'm putting my shadows in. And then I'm gonna blend that out with a lighter shade, with two lighter shades on the dad moose, and then the baby ones I've colored in just a little bit later because to me babies seem to be lighter than their parents in Animal Kingdom. And then I'll color in his antlers with a couple of lighter shades, and that will finish my Copic coloring. To create the background, I wanted to create a scene, so I'm starting with Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm taking Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide ink, and I'm blending a section to create my sky. I originally thought I would just do like start in the middle and then have it extend out, and then I decided I'm just going to cover the entire panel, and so that's what I'm doing now. I'm just layering several layers of the Mermaid Lagoon to create that background. Then I'm taking another piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm going to create the little hill where the moose family will sit on. And I'm going to use the stitched hillside borders, I think is what it's called. Simple stitched hillside borders. To create that little hill, and I'm adding twisted citron and a little bit of the peeled paint to darken it up. Once I'm happy with how that looks, I'm going to move on to the birch trees, and I'm going to be using vintage photo to create the trees. And again, I'll just layer up the ink until I'm happy with the outcome. And then for the sun, I'm using the Sun from Spring Showers, and I'm using Wild Honey Distress Oxide to create the that die cut. So I've got all of my pieces die cut. I've also used the cloud from Spring Showers to cut out a couple of clouds. And I've cut out a panel from some craft cardstock, and I used a embossing folder to create the wood grain. And I've got all of my pieces ready to go. I'm ready to start assembling. I'm taking a little bit more of the peeled paint Distress Oxide ink. I feel like some of that color was a little bit lost, and so I just wanted to darken it up. Darken up the little hill. And at this point, I am ready to start assembling. I've cut the panel that is the sky down to fit my card base a little bit better, and I'm adding some adhesive and taping that down. And then I'm gonna add the hill. I'm just adding it where I think it's gonna look good. And I believe I start using liquid glue. It's a little bit easier. You have a little bit of wiggle room when you're using liquid instead of the other adhesive. And I'm adding my birch trees now. And I'm just going to place those where I think I want to put them and where they look good. I've also taken the sun and I've glued it to the top of the wood grain panel, and I've added quite a bit of foam tape to that panel so that I can pop it up onto my card. I've added the cloud, and I'm just taking the dad moose and I'm putting him in a little bit of foam tape and popping him out just so he looks like he's more in the front than the babies. And then I'm gluing the two little baby moose flat onto the background. For the sentiment, I'm using my Misty so that I can get a straight stamp, or stamp it straight. And I'm using Your Jokes Are Always Amusing, and I'm gonna stamp out Dad. And then I will die cut those using the stitched, no, not stitched. It's the Everyday Sentiment banners from Lawn Fawn. That bottom sentiment just fits onto that banner. So I've got both of them die cut, and I'm just adhering them with some liquid glue straight down to the card. And as the final embellishment, I'm gonna add 3 little hearts. These are enamel sticker hearts from Recollections to my card, and I think the red really stands out really well in that background. And that will complete this card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. If so, please let me know in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. The supplies I used will be linked down below as well as in my blog post. Thanks for watching.